In this video tutorial, we're going to talk about the many functions of save. Namely, save, the general save, which updates your current session file. Save as, which will give you a brand new Pro Tools session file. Save as session template, which will give you, as the name implies, a template to work from. And save copy in, which will give you an effective form of archiving your project. Let's take a look at it now. Notice the current session I'm in is named save_save as, and you can see the session folder is conveniently located on my desktop, and here is the current session file. If I were to make some changes or update this session, maybe we'll just go ahead and consolidate. And a Command S will simply save my current state of the session, and notice it just updated the original session file. Versus if I went back and made some other edits, and then I decided that I wanted to create a save as, file save as, we'll call this version B, will actually give me a brand new session file inside of my session folder. Both of these session files can actually access the same audio, and notice that I'm in my new saved as version. If I then wanted to save my work as a session template, you have save as session template, and maybe we will call this version C, and this we could choose to include my source media or not include it, and this would give me a session template to work from. Imagine if I was working on a group for several weeks and I was going to see them through a project. Their inputs and outputs probably aren't going to change song to song if it's all this original band members and they're all playing the same instrument. And so the tracks can be used as a starting point for getting the next song up and running really quickly and easily by storing it as a session template. Whereas a save copy in gives me an effective way to archive. Save copy in. You'll be using save copy in to turn in your project at the end of the month. In my save copy in, one of the key ingredients here is you want to make sure you have all your audio files. You could actually change session parameters such as your audio file type, sample rate, bit depth, but you want to make sure you check off all audio files. This is not checked off by default, and if you do not check this off, you will not perform a complete archive. In fact, you'll show up to your next session and all of your audio files will be missing. So keep that in mind. When you go to save this, it's going to ask you where you want to save it to. Let's go ahead and let's rename this version D, and we'll get rid of the copy of that it puts at the beginning of the naming, and we'll store it back to my desktop, again just for demonstration purposes. And we'll save it to my desktop. And you can see that Pro Tools is now creating a brand new session folder with a brand new copy of the audio files, but notice what version of the session I'm currently still in. I'm back in the original version. So if I didn't want to be in this original version, I would need to close the session and then go open up my new save copy in to verify that everything is there and functional. And this new save copy in would be my archive that I'd want to take with me to the next studio to do further work on, or when you go to turn your project in, you want to make sure that I'm getting all of your files so it'll be an effective archive. So we've gone through several different versions of save. Standard save, which will update your session file. Save as, which will give you a brand new session file. Save as a session template, which will give you a template to get you up and running very quickly and easily. And then you have save copy in, which will be your effective form of archival. Tune in to our next video where we show you more hot tips and tricks about Pro Tools.